What's going on, everyone? This is the Sports Speculator here to provide some speculation on this Thursday, and we're doing and talking NFL, throwing the pigskin around as the leaves start to change color. We have a fantastic game today: Rams and Seahawks battle for NFC West dominance. They're both 3-1. Fantastic game. Usually the Thursday games are garbage. Um, so who do I think is going to win? I think Seattle. I think the Rams lost to Tampa Bay last week is telling. Uh, they look like they don't have a running game, and that defense is porous. Now, it's not like Seattle has big play capabilities all over the place, but they do have Russell Wilson, who I think buys time and improvises much better than Goff. Obviously, much better than Goff. He's a better athlete, I think. He's a better quarterback. I think Seattle has the better defense. So I think Seattle wins. Plus, it's in Seattle. It's probably going to rain. And that crowd is phenomenal. So I go Seattle for the dub. Dub, 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 dub. Let's look at the weekend. Okay, Jacksonville, Carolina. The legend of Gardner Minshew is going to keep growing. I think. I think it's another crazy type of ending. Um, Now, Carolina could just as easily have Christian McCaffrey run all over the Jags defense. And Kyle Allen is trying to build up his resume to take Cam Newton's job. But I just think the mustache is special. I would love to see Carolina win because as a Chiefs fan, I don't want to see AFC teams beat NFC teams just for selfish reasons. But what are you gonna do? Someone's got to win. I think the old mustache, the old Minshew mania mustache, is gonna win. It's gonna take it. Arizona, Cincinnati, just skip it. Just skip it. It doesn't even matter. Neither one of these teams is really in the NFL. Atlanta, Houston, man, very good game as well. You would think, who's gonna win this one? Atlanta to me is so hard to predict because they don't look good, and then watch, they'll beat the Texans. I'm taking them to beat the Texans because I think that's just kind of a weird team. And they're a very solid team, very talented team, but they just go in these like spurts where they're hot and they're cold. Um, Houston needs to protect Deshaun Watson. He's getting hit way too much. Um, they need to give they need to do some serious work on the O line, and they need another like really good two wide receiver. Now the running backs are good. That kind of fell in their lap where Lamar, I believe it was Lamar Miller or someone, their main running back got hurt beginning of the year, and they picked up Carlos Hyde and some other guys, and it's working. But I think he needs somebody else to take some pressure off DeAndre Hopkins, right? DeAndre Hopkins, and Deshaun Watson gets hurt and he runs around and he gets hit too often. So, but I'm going to take Atlanta and just kind of a fluky, weird send. They're going to look really good, and it's going to be kind of one of those things where they're going to lose the next 2 weeks after this. Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and what is becoming a very interesting Tampa Bay team. I don't know what to make of them. I'm not high on Jameis Winston at all. I think the organization is probably looking at this like face palming a little bit because I know they want to move away from Jameis, but then he'll show up and win like 4 or 5 games that he shouldn't. So it doesn't make any sense to me. Mike Evans is a beast. He is a man amongst men. And Jameis has been slinging the ball terrifically. But New Orleans, on the flip side of this coin, Alvin Kamara is also a man amongst men, and Teddy Bridgewater has really just picked up where Drew Brees left it. So this one's in New Orleans. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay and just like let's ride it. Let's eat this dub, Jameis. I'm hungry. I'll go back for seconds. Why not? Minnesota, New York Giants. I am so done with Kirk Cousins. Now, he will beat non-elite quarterbacks, but he won't beat quarterbacks, decent quarterbacks, and elite quarterbacks. I don't think the Giants are going to have Saquon Barkley. Um, Daniel Jones is very good, and there's not a whole lot of tape on him, so he could give Minnesota fits. But I just think Thielen and Dalvin Cook and Daniel Jones is not an elite quarterback yet, so I'm going to go Minnesota. But I am so shaky on that pick. I mean, Kirk Cousins. Talk about buyer's remorse. Like, the Minnesota Vikings organization has got to just be like, we're stuck with this dude for at least like 3 or 4 more years. There's absolutely nothing we can do. We can't even, like, they could cut him, but they owe him so much money. Like, you're not going to cut him, you know? They're stuck. They're stuck with him. I hope they draft well, and maybe some young guy can like outplay him, and maybe you never want to see someone get injured, but that would give them a little bit more things to kind of weigh their options. And as it stands right now, they're stuck with this dude, and he's clearly not that good. Chicago, Oakland. I hope Chicago wins. I mean, that defense is ferocious. I hope they get after Carr. The real question is, what's Chicago's offense going to look like? Limited, that's for sure, but um, I think their defense is good enough to beat anyone as long as the offense doesn't completely mess things up. So I got the Bears in this one. Plus, I love to see Oakland lose, love to see Denver lose, love to see, I always want to call them San Diego still, love to see the Chargers lose. So I'm hoping for an Oakland loss. New York Jets and Philly. Philly, I think, really kind of saved their season, beating the Packers. That was clutch city. The Jets, I don't think they have Sam Darnold back, but I think it's either going to be the week after this or the week after. I think we have at most 2 more weeks and Darnold is back, and then we can really kind of evaluate the Jets from there. They're just so banged up. I'm taking Philly. Baltimore, Pitt. Baltimore for sure. I mean, Pittsburgh. This is the year for Pittsburgh to really just lose as many games as possible and then retool next year. Draft a young quarterback. If you don't like what you see with Mason Rudolph, I don't think he's not what you want to have moving forward. So get another quarterback. Get a wide receiver. Get better on defense. This is the year for them. They have built-in excuse all over the board. So they have no business winning games. They should have lost. If they should have, but the Cincinnati's terrible. So they're the better team than Cincinnati. But if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm losing as many games as possible. I'm tanking. I called it. I'm endorsing tanking. Buffalo, Tennessee. I think this is going to be a very good game. Very, very good game. It's in Nashville. Is Allen going to be back? Because I know he's in concussion protocol. I don't know his status. I think if he's in, I think him at quarterback and the Buffalo defense is enough for Buffalo to take it. But if he's out, I think Tennessee will win. So there's my pick. Washington, New England, skip this one as well unless you're a Patriots fan. There's no need for anyone to watch this game. Everyone in Washington D.C. watch the Mystics instead. Watch the D.C. United play. There's so many other things happening in D.C. The Nationals might be playing still. Um, Watch anything else but this game. Patriots huge. They're gonna roll the Skins. Chargers, Denver. So selfishly, this is a lose-lose for me, but I would like to see Denver win. I don't think Denver's as bad as their 0-4 record, and they're definitely not as bad as their 0-4 counterparts, the Redskins, the Dolphins. I'm going to go ahead and throw Arizona in that mix as well, though I know they tied. Tied to me is even worse than a loss. There should be no ties in any of these sports. Get the tie out of here. So I'm going to go Denver. I'm going to go Denver. It's completely Chargers to lose to an undefeated team at home. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Dallas, Green Bay. Phenomenal game. Such a good game. Ah, wow. Where do you go with this one? Where do you go with this one? Because Dallas's defense and Dak and Zeke and Jason Witten and all their playmakers up against Green Bay, who's got a nice retooled defense. It's really like the offense that hasn't really lived up to its full potential yet. It's a long season, and they both have identical records. Now, Green Bay has a lot more to play for, I think, because their division is tougher. I think Dallas can drop some of these games and still not worry too much, especially if Philly kind of keeps sputtering a bit. I mean, Philly potentially could be 1-3, and then I don't really see too much challenge in the NFC East. But they're 2-2. They're a game behind. So, oh, this is such a pick'em game. It's in Dallas, such a pick'em game. I'm gonna go Dallas. I'm gonna go Dallas. I think they're the more complete team, and I think Aaron Rodgers is running out of Hail Mary passes in his arsenal. Indy, Kansas City in a playoff rematch. This is the late game, which is fantastic for me. It'll be on network television, so I don't have to watch the Redskins New England. I mean, that game is going to be on 1 o'clock. And the Ravens, when do the Ravens play? You know how like there's always like a Fox and a CBS game? Sometimes. Sometimes there's only one game. And okay, well at least Baltimore Pitt is at 1 o'clock too. They're both 1 o'clock games. So for me, in my area, it's going to be Baltimore Pitt on CBS. It's going to be New England Washington on Fox, and then we're going to get Dallas Green Bay at 4:30. So those aren't those great. I mean, the for Dallas Green Bay is a fantastic game, but I mean these 1 o'clock games, Washington, New England, Baltimore Pitt, and pass on both those. I don't want to watch that. So at least I get a good 4:30 game, and then for me, because my favorite team is the Chiefs, I get to watch them against Indy. I think Kansas City will win. I think Indy is going to be tough though, just like Detroit. I think they're going to be very tough out. I think they're going to impress a lot of people. I think Jacoby Brissett will make plays. I just think Kansas City's too loaded. I think when their offense is clicking, the only team that can beat them is New England. I think so. That's what I got. And then the Monday night game, San Francisco against Cleveland. This is a good game because how good do we really think Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers are? How good are they, We'll see because I think Cleveland is slowly starting to kind of turn that corner. The Baltimore game was very eye-opening, I think, for a lot of people. That offense is good. That offense is really good. So I've got Cleveland in this one because I just think they're the better team. I think Baker is the better quarterback over Garoppolo. So I got that. So should be a very, very fun game. I mean, the Thursday game is phenomenal. The midday Sunday game is phenomenal. The late Sunday game is great for me. And then the Monday night game is very interesting. So I'm very excited about it. And then, you got games on the fringe that I'm not getting that I would like to kind of check in and see on like NFL Network's pass around or like Red Zone is Buffalo, Tennessee. I'm going to keep a close eye on that one. Minnesota, New York, the Giants. I'm going to kind of be keeping tabs on that one to see how Cousins and Jones look. Tampa Bay, New Orleans. That's going to be a fun game. And then in Jacksonville, Carolina, the backups kind of battling for the starting position, and then Atlanta, Houston, to see if Atlanta shows up and see if Deshaun can protect, see if Houston can protect Deshaun. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right, cool. Well, there's the week. I'm excited to get it all started tonight. Hit like and subscribe if you stayed with me the whole time, and let me know who your favorite team is and who you're cheering for this weekend.